Hello and hi everyone, my name is Daryl Albright, anak doubles John, and welcome to 18th ICTEL 2022 International Conference on Teaching, Education and Learning in Istanbul. First and foremost, I'd like to say hello and hi to all academicians and also professors, doctors, and also the attendees of this conference. And I would like to welcome to my presentation, which is the use of 360 degrees spatial video in learning during pandemic. My name is Daryl Albright, doubles John, and I am an English lecturer from Department of Languages, Diploma Studies from Betong Vocational College, Sarawak, located in the country of Malaysia. If you do not know where is Malaysia, let me introduce to you. This is the map of Malaysia. As you can see, we are located at Southeast Asia, and Malaysia is divided into two. Firstly is, we call it Peninsula Malaysia, where we have Kuala Lumpur, we have all the other big cities, and we also have Kepulauan Borneo, or the Borneo Island, where we have Sarawak and also Sabah. And also we have our neighboring countries such as Indonesia and also Brunei. Let's zoom in a bit. So this is where our college is humbly located at, Betong Vocational College, Sarawak. So we have 8 vocational programs. Namely, as you can see in front of you, we have automotive program, we have welding technology, industrial machining, construction and building, electrical technology, culinary arts, accountancy, and computer sciences. Alright, so we are accepting students from the age of 16 to 19, and they are exit our college, they will be awarded the certificate of Diploma in Vocational. Our college is located at semi-rural area, which is around 3 to 4 hours away from the nearest main cities, and we are connected via water and also via road. Let's move on to our research. So I would like to apologize if you can't see some of the slides. I'll try to amend things as I move forward. So as you can see in front of you, research objectives and questions. So here we satisfy a few research objectives and questions. We have RO1 and RO2, and RQ1 and RQ2. So let's move on to RO1, which is our research objectives. First, RO1 is to investigate the impact on 360 degrees spatial video in speaking English through the performance in speaking. Second RO, or the second research objective, is to investigate the impact of 360 spatial video in the perception of English as a second language learner in vocational college in speaking English. So what is our research questions? Firstly, we have, what is the impact of 360 degrees spatial video in speaking English through the performance of speaking? And also, what is the impact, ladies and gentlemen, of 360 spatial video in the perception on ESL language students in speaking English? Alright, in order for us to know more, let's move on to the next slide. Alright, so the statement of problems. So why do we want to conduct this such research at the first place? So in Malaysia, ladies and gentlemen, we are lacking of authentic English language environment due to the interference on L1. Ladies and gentlemen, what is L1? L1 is their mother tongue, such as in Malaysia, we have multiple mother tongues, such as Malays, they will have Malay language. Such as Ibans, we also have our native language, which is Iban language. And as for Bidayo, we have our own Bidayo language. According to Mohta et al. In 2015, as the participants were outside the classroom, they did not communicate English. So this is reflected in our college as well. We only have limited contact hours in English. So they only practice English in the classroom, but once they step out the classroom, they do not speak English. So that is a problem because, as we know it, English is language that needs practice. You have to practice every day, and if you do not practice it every day, so your English proficiency will be low. And second, as you know it, ladies and gentlemen, pandemic has resulted in a rapid evolution of education from physical classroom to virtual classroom, where students must learn online. But in this situation of COVID-19 pandemic, it reveals the drawbacks and limitations as they are accustomed to the conventional way of teaching. This is from the researcher in 2021. So as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, we are not ready for the pandemic. So we need to find ways for us to find ways to make our education more effective. And what is the way? So this is why virtual reality can come in, because limited ways for us to go to other places, and limited ways for us to collaborate, such as if we want to go to Big Ben, we can't go travel overseas because of the pandemic. If we want to go to somewhere to experience such aurora, we also could not experience that because of COVID-19 pandemic. So how we want to experience that? We would like to introduce virtual reality. And lastly, there is also a lack of research on using 360 spatial video in education field, especially impacting the teaching and learning of English. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know it, virtual reality has been in our midst since the longest of times, but we are lacking on seeing virtual reality used in our classroom, whereas it has been used in industries such as aviation, such as property, and so on and so forth. So why not use virtual reality in our classrooms? So in our research, we would like to show you how we want to use it and how effective it is in our normal setting in the classroom. As you can see in front of you, what is conventional video and what is 360 degrees spatial video? As you can see, this is the normal conventional video, which is one-dimensional or one-directional, and it has restrictive field of view. That means we only can watch, we can only look at it in front, and we can't look at it at sideways, or we can't turn around to look at other things around us. So that is a bit problematic for us. And second, it is a traditional way of consumption. Like we look at our phones, and we can only look at one direction in our phones. But with today's technology, we can also produce what we call as omnidimensional or directional video, where we have a wide field of view, and it can provide highly immersive experience and interactive way of learning. When we have our phones in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, we have our phones, we can look around and we can see all the videos from different angles. And also we have the virtual reality device, which is Oculus Quest or third-party HMD. They can also use the virtual reality devices, and they can look around for them to maneuver, or they can look, if they look up, they will see a different kind of experience. They look left, they will see a different kind of experience, and so on and so forth. So this is why conventional video is relevant, but the best one for this research is 360 spatial videos. This is has been found by this scholar. This is just a theory by Paul Milgram in 1994, where is the next move for virtual reality or reality virtuality continuum. As you can see, we have experienced real environment. We also have experienced augmented reality, augmented virtuality, and right now we are at virtual reality. And ladies and gentlemen, as we progress more in the future, we can see extended reality beginning to happen. So in order for us to progress in the world of media, why not introduce virtual reality? Let's move on to our methodology or our research. Okay, so in order for us to conduct this, I've conducted it in action research, where we have 3 cycles of intervention for 3 weeks, and the students that we have chosen is 4 students, whereas 2 male and 2 female with low proficiency in English. So this is the action research cycle. As you can see on the first part 1, initial observation, the researcher will observe on the overview of the whole thing, his way of teaching, and also once the observation is already being conducted, so he or the researcher will conduct the action research cycle, where it's divided into 3: cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. In cycle 1, we will use mobile phone. So this we will test it with mobile phones. And also the video that we use is Wonders of the World Pyramid of Giza. On cycle 2 is implementation of 360 degree spatial video in learning by using third-party HMD. So this is Wonders of the World Machu Picchu. So we use third-party HMD for this part of the research. And for cycle 3, Oculus Quest 2, is the implementation of 360 spatial video in learning with Oculus Quest 2. And the video that we use to prompt the students or for this research is Wonders of the World Mount Everest. So we will give them a task. According to the task given, Wonders of the World, students must plan and deliver the individual presentation for 5 to 6 minutes. So in this research, so we will evaluate how the students perform after being introduced to the 360 spatial video, and they will perform 5 to 6 minutes of individual presentation in front of the researcher. And at the end of the research, as you can see at the end part here, is reflection and further suggestions of the studies. Let's move on to the research finding. Satisfying the RQ1, what is the impact of 360 spatial video in speaking English through the performance in speaking? So we have conducted pre-test. As you can see, our pre-test for A1, B1, C1, and D1. This is our students, okay? A1, B1, C1, and D1. So for the pretest, it's a bit low comparing to the other devices. Once they have been introduced to Oculus Quest 2, third-party HMD, and mobile phones, you can see the performance has been increasing. But the best performance over here, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see over here, is the yellow part, which is Oculus Quest 2. So this is highly recommended for our for researchers that wanted to use Oculus Quest 2. In our research, we have found out that Oculus Quest 2 is the best way to access or to assess virtual reality in your classroom, because that is providing the best way to access it. As for mobile phones and third-party HMD, we found out that the students do have increase of performance in using VR, but the thing is, it's not as high as Oculus Quest 2. So this is the average score versus virtual reality devices accessing 360-degree spatial video, and also answering the RQ1, which is what is the impact of 360-degree spatial video in speaking English through the performance in speaking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in front of you, we also have 3 devices and also pretest. So as for pretest, argumentally, it's the lowest of the bunch. And for the speaking performance, as you can see, Oculus Quest 2, students has been exposed to Oculus Quest 2 has the highest performance of average score compared to the mobile phones and third-party HMD. Alright, so why? Let me discuss in the later part of the research. Okay, this is to satisfy RQ2. What is the impact of 360-degree spatial video in the perception on ESL vocational students in speaking English? So Oculus Quest 2, ladies and gentlemen, provides the best experience in accessing 360-degree spatial video, as it provides a comprehensive audio-visual experience in comparison to mobile phones and third-party HMD. So we found out that in our research, when the students access virtual reality in their phones, such as like this, so they have problems because it is not highly immersive enough for them to experience, and maybe different phones have different specifications, such as audio and such as visual, so it doesn't give them the highest performance in virtual reality or the virtual experience. And as for third-party HMD, it's rather shaky, and also they have mobility problems because they become very dizzy after several points, but we do not experience that in Oculus Quest 2. Hence, Oculus Quest 2 provides a comfortable user experience to the students, as they did not experience, like I said before, locomotion problems, and they were able to use it for a longer period of time. According to the semi-structured interview, their experience of 360-degree spatial videos has inspired them and motivated them to explore more English contents through virtual reality, and believe that English teachers should explore the use of VR in their classroom to teach English, as it opens possibilities, ladies and gentlemen, to much more entertaining yet impactful content, thus increasing the performance and interest in the English language. As you can see in front of you, there are several realms of virtual reality or immersive experience. We have non-immersive virtual reality experience and highly immersive experience. So as you can see, mobile phones, it does not give you the the highest immersive experience as compared to Oculus Quest 2, which the ones that I put you at the end there, because it provides highly immersive experience as the user. When we look at a highly immersive experience, ladies and gentlemen, it's a fully immersive simulation that gives the user of realistic simulation experience, complete with sight and sound. To experience and interact with fully virtual reality, the user needs to have proper VR glasses or head-mounted display HMD. As you can see, the student in front of you, they are using the third-party HMD for the first picture, and the last one is Oculus Quest 2. The suggestions for future research is as follows. Firstly, researchers should find ways to develop authentic localized contents in terms of VR, so the students may relate to it better as compared to native speakers. Next is more studies should be conducted in exploring the usage of 360 usage of Oculus Quest 2 in the classroom, as Oculus Quest 2 is the most ideal choice as of 2022, and interactive and non-interactive contents. So VR is divided into two, which is interactive contents and non-interactive contents. So non-interactive contents is like 360-degree spatial video, where they can't interact with the video. They only can they can only look left, right, up, and down. But for interactive contents, is such as games, such as simulations, when they actually they can interact with the simulations within the metaverse. So, yes, further studies should be conducted to enhance the students' performance in speaking and other skills required in this 21st century, ladies and gentlemen, relevant to the development of Industrial Revolution 4.0, or as we know it, IR 4.0. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this marks the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening, and I hope by my research and hearing the research conducted by other researchers, it can actually inspires a lot of other scholars out there to search for better ways for us to teach and to teach our students so that they can be better generations in the future. With that, thank you. And in Malaysia, we would like to say terima kasih.